Hello, this is Marvelous Action Figures and I'm Paul, and today this is, my goodness me, a marvellous action figure. This is the Mezco 112 Collective Amazing Spider-Man, and we are straight into the Steve Ditko and John Romita era here. Beautiful looking figure. It just screams comic book all over you, including the box. It's a fine looking figure. Soft goods on the costume. It's pretty generous on it. Now, from a Mezco, sometimes I do worry about sort of stressing that material and stretching it too far, but it's a really great design to it. So you have got a sort of light cloth fabric to the blue, and then you've got a sort of printed, more sort of plasticky pattern on the red, but it looks really well. They complement each other. A kid could make this. 15-year-old Peter Parker could definitely make this, and that is the look you've got to it, and it just screams early 60s Spider-Man. In terms of articulation, there's a beautiful T pose it gets into. The arms go right up, actually, and get right up above the head, which you need for the web backpack, which we'll talk about a lot later. So they work very well. Amazing articulation, no pun intended there. Amazing articulation in the head, full range, beautiful double elbow bend, really good. No stress on the material. There's a very generous amount of give in the material, so don't panic too much or worry about stretching the material. Be careful, obviously, but you can get this figure into some really good poses, as you can see there. Reasonable ab crunch, it's not too bad at all, and the same going back as well. And then in terms of the knees, a great double knee bend with a fabric costume material. That's amazing. Done it again, haven't I? Just ignore any amazings. Bit of hip swivel and hip ankle swivel and pivot there. Get the legs up into a good high pose, and you can get a twist on the waist there, so you can really get into those comic book poses. Not a lot of the extremes, you know, the Todd McFarlane extreme crouches and poses that you get in the comics these days, but you can really embody that 60s spirit with the figure and really get him in some super cool poses. So that's the awesomeness of the figure. There is a lot to unpack on the accessories, so let's go through all those now. Stick with me, there's loads. Right, I'm going to start at the bottom of the box and work our way up. So we've got this base that comes with the all Mezcos, and then there's obviously the classic Mezco stand that goes with it. This is rubber, and this is brilliant. It's sort of grooved rubber with a pattern on it, very flexible, and you can use that as a great silhouette, which I'll do later on. You have this awesome web shield, really solid, great detail on it. Very secure and snug. Easy to take the hand off, put it through, and then put the hand back on. You've got this brilliant mask off, which grips into one of the many hands that are here, and there are loads. And next to these spider traces, you can see, which are so cool, you've actually got a huge array of hands. You've got every type of hand. Mezco have gone to town on these hands. There's just so many of them, and again, they will hold the spider tracer, they will hold the mask, and then they will hold the various webs that you get. So you've got this brilliant sort of lasso web, which is great, fit around the figure, and then you've got the very long sort of straight web as well that you can use to sort of frame your pictures. And then in terms of other webs, so you've got one that will almost shoot out like a lasso you can hold the end of. This large one here, now this actually goes with another bit of kit which is in the top part of the box, which I'll show you in just a moment. Right, here we go. Look at the bang for the buck. We have 4 extra heads. We have a Peter Parker glasses off with a brilliant set of glasses. You have this one, which is sort of eyes wider, bit more sort of in keeping with the sort of John Romita look to the eyes. This one, similar eyes to it. Now this one lights up. Now inside there is a lip where you take that out. You put 2 LED batteries in that it comes with, and you get light up eyes. And then this is a brilliant half sort of Spidey sense Peter Parker and Spider-Man, which is fantastic. And then what sits behind that is this brilliant Spidey sense, so you can actually use that against the head. You can either put it on the stand, or I've used a little bit of wax to hold it on for some pictures you'll see later. We then have a camera, we have camera straps, we have a spider tracer signal, so the tracker, we have a newspaper, with Spider-Man's identity, still a mystery, which is great. And it's all got a crumpled effect to it, so he's holding his hands. It's not all, you know, just smart, or sort of like that rippled effect of the pages. Really well thought out and designed. Then you've got this sort of face web, so you can shoot this over the bad guys, which is brilliant. Really great effect. It looks excellent, and that will sit snugly onto a lot of other characters' faces. It's a great idea. Then you've got this backpack, which I was talking about earlier, and you can get the arms fully up to put that on, and it sits in there really snug. That is really solid piece. No sort of plastic gumminess. It's brilliant. And then here you've got this web hammock that I was talking about. So you can have a web hammock, or you can have a web parachute, and I'll do some pictures of that in just a moment and show you what that looks like. And that is a really great accessory. So we are accessoried to the max. Right, I've put the two little LED batteries into the mask, and that is gorgeous. Look how bright and powerful that lights up. It's fantastic. And then when you pop it onto the figure, it looks stunning. It's such a great feature. Real old school comic book look to it. That is just beautiful. Here is Peter holding that mask with the Peter Parker head on. I'll put the camera strap on and I'll put the backpack on. It's awesome. It's just such a great throwback to the comic books. It's a really fine look. That mask looks beautiful sat in his hand. I love this look so much. It may even end up being how I display it. It looks fantastic. Right, I put the camera in its hand. You could do this with a Peter Parker head or the Spider-Man head. There's a brilliant Alex Ross Marvel's cover. Fits in there superbly. You've even got the camera click finger to activate it as well. And here is the half and half mask, holding the newspaper as well, with newspaper holding hand. Looks excellent as well. Full range of articulation with it. It's a really good look. That with the Spidey sense on it behind it is going to be brilliant. That'd be really good. So I think that's a great look to it. Such a great detail and an excellent little feature to have. I wasn't expecting that. It's fantastic. And there you go, there with the Spidey sense behind it. Love this so much. It's a really cool look to the character. Now, I told you I'd come back to that web parachute, and here we are. So you have this accessory here with the 4 hook pieces on the end. It clips in very simply, so 2 on each side. It sits in there really snug, facing outwards. Same with the other side. And again, there's no issue clipping them in. It's very durable, great strong plastic, so no worries about that. And then you have this awesome parachute, which I will do some shots with later. Or if you want, there you go, to get it back in focus. This parachute is great, and coming down from the sky. Or you've got this really cool web hammock as well, and that looks really smart. And actually, you can put him in it. Let's get him into a little relaxed pose here, and you can put him into it. It's relatively snugly, and you've got to do a little bit of jigging around. I'll hang him off the end here now. Then I'll put him in the hammock. So it's a little bit jiggery pokery to get him in there, but it does work really well, and it's quite a cool look to him. And you can sort of see him in that, chilling out in Avengers Mansion, talking to the Avengers, making all the jokes. It's a really cool look. I love it. An excellent accessory to have. Let's talk scale now. Let's talk Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Here he is with the symbiote Spider-Man black suit Spidey, my absolute favourite Marvel Legends figure and favourite Spidey costume, and the Amazing Fantasy 15 figure, which is obviously the closest to this Mezco one. Good scale to them. I'm going to stand them up now and take a look at them in a standing pose. Well, I've got them in standing pose. That's a good scale to it. That early sort of teenage Peter Parker works really well. And speaking of teenage Peter Parkers, I'm now dropping in the MCU No Way Home final swing suit, which just looks amazing next to it. Oh, done it again. Looks amazing next to it. So let's take the two out of the way. That is brilliant. These two, I mean, I was just so impressed by that MCU Spidey at the end. The scale of these two together is fantastic. The colour schemes, that's my definitive look Spidey for me. It really is. So it's a great matchup for these two. Super happy with how they look. Right, so I've Mezco'd him up here with the Mezco Doctor Strange in his Defender's outfit. To go Mezco for Mezco, soft good overload here. That works really well. That is exactly about right from those early comic books. Stephen Strange, not the most imposing of characters, but obviously you're talking about Kid Parker here, teenage Peter Parker. That's a great mix together. I think those two look really good together. The soft goods just sing on both. The colour scheme is brilliant. That's a great looking set. Time to go big. Time to go big with Veteran William from Maestro Union's Foray Planet. That's a gorgeous matchup. What a great set they'll be together. Big and imposing Veteran William against Spidey. I think that really works. Love the look of these two together. That's a great little matchup. Very, very cool for some action set pieces between those two. Now, for a character who has one of the best rogues galleries in comics, probably Marvel's best rogues gallery of all, here he is with some of his main protagonists, or antagonists, let's say. Obviously, it's J. Jonah Jameson, the Marvel Legends version, and Dr. Victor Von Doom. And you can only say that in capital letters, and Doom. Great looking set together. They work really well. The size of Doom, the size of Jonah. Very, very good looking set. And now two of those very, very early old school villains from right back at the start of Peter's run of Spider-Man. It is Adrian Toomes of Vulture, Quentin Beck Mysterio. Great looking set. The look of this Vulture in particular works fantastically well. Very comic book. A perfect looking set. And a great trio here. Two more characters integral to Spidey's history and canon in the comics. Mac Gargan, the Scorpion, and of course Ben Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. That's a great looking set here. Again, I think scale-wise it works perfectly well. Looks brilliant. That Spidey and that Scorpion are going to look great in some shots together. A really, really cool looking set. And let's finish with two doctors, Connors and Octavius. So the Lizard and Dr. Octopus. These work really, really well. I love the look of these. These are excellent. I'm so upset I missed out on that Build-A-Figure Lizard from back in the day. But this version from the animated series works just as well. A fine looking, very colourful matchup. And they're going to be great for some set pieces and pictures. Very, very happy with that matchup. All right, that is it for today. Thank you very, very much for sticking out and checking out this figure with me. I'll put him back in one of my favourite poses now, which is the unmasked version with the backpack and the camera from right back how he started out, the very beginning of Spider-Man, which is where this figure sits. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this little look at it. Let me know if you got it. Let me know if you plan on getting it. Stick it down in the comments. Let's have a conversation about this figure. And of course, thank you if you're liking and subscribing already. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to, oh well, I'd appreciate that as well. That is it for this video. Hope to see you on another one. I'll leave you with a montage. Bye for now.